Welcome back, everybody, for another deep dive. And today we are going to be looking at just one source, which is pretty exciting because it's a really good one. It's a New York Times piece about this woman named Nancy Cardwell. And she ends up taking up tango dancing when she's in her late 50s. But it's not just about like finding love on the dance floor or something. It's about, taking a chance and getting to a point in your life where you can kind of rewrite the script. Yeah. The thing that really got me about this one was that this isn't somebody who's like running away from a boring life. Nancy was already killing it, before all this.
Yeah, I mean, she's already super accomplished. We're talking an assistant managing editor at the Wall Street Journal. Not exactly somebody who's afraid to go after what she wants.
Exactly. So she's got this high-powered career, and then she just walks away to work with Habitat for Humanity. So you can already kind of tell that she's all about making these big choices. That might seem a little crazy to other people, but they make sense for her. You know what I mean?
Totally. I think this is what the article's really getting at. We always think success is about the job title or the money, but Nancy's story is showing us that it's about something deeper, something more about who you are.
For sure. And then she finds tango. Like at 58, she just jumps into this whole new world.
Yeah.
5 classes a week. What is it about learning new stuff, especially when you're older? That can just change everything.
That's a good question. I think maybe it's because it's a challenge. It makes you get out of your comfort zone, and you use your brain in a different way. Or maybe it's like you're proving something to yourself that you can still learn and change.
It's like that whole thing about your brain being a muscle. You got to keep using it. And for Nancy, all that flexing took her to Buenos Aires, the tango capital of the world. Can you imagine those late-night milongas? The music, the connection.
Buenos Aires is practically a character in this whole thing. Tango is everywhere there. It's not just dancing. It's about how people talk to each other, how they, share their feelings. You connect with people in a way you just can't with words.
And that's where she meets Luis, right? On one of her trips to Buenos Aires. It's like a movie. Finding love through tango. They even call it a 3-minute love affair.
Right. But, it wasn't just some random thing on the dance floor. They met up over and over. They talked. They did stuff together. It feels like they wanted something real, something that would last.
Yeah. They were building something.
Definitely.
So cool.
Yeah. And what's really interesting is that they were both already, living their lives.
Yeah.
Before they met. It wasn't like they were two sad people who needed each other. They were happy already. On their own.
Yeah. It's like that part in the article where Nancy talks about what her mom always said. Happiness is an option. You have to choose it. And it seems like Nancy's really lived by that.
It really makes you think, how much of our happiness do we actually have control over? We always think we need something else to be happy. A boyfriend or girlfriend.
Yeah.
A better job. A bigger house.
Yeah.
But maybe, like her mom said, it's something inside you that you can have no matter what.
That's deep. And Nancy didn't just wait around for someone to make her happy. She was single, she traveled, she did what she loved, she made her own amazing life.
Right. And that quote about not having to buy Reeboks for anybody. It's funny, but it's also kind of about what people expect, especially for women. It's like you're supposed to be with someone, be part of a couple. But Nancy shows us that's not the only way. She was happy being by herself, and that's pretty awesome.
Totally. And then she moves to Argentina. She didn't even think about it for very long. She just did it. Why do you think she was able to make such a big change? Like it was nothing.
Maybe when you get older, you stop caring what other people think. You're more comfortable with yourself. You know what you want.
It's like she thought, why not? What's the worst that could happen? I love that she just went for it, especially at that age.
Yeah, and don't forget, she didn't just follow some guy.
Yeah.
She already loved Buenos Aires. Luis was just another reason to love it.
Right. It was about living the life she wanted. A life that was about her passions. She wasn't losing anything. She was gaining everything.
Yeah. And that's why their story is so great. They were both already happy people, and they decided to be together, not because they needed to, but because they wanted to be even happier.
Right. It's like that whole thing about needing someone to complete you. They were already complete on their own.
Exactly. That's how relationships should be, when you're happy with yourself, when you have things you love outside of romance. You could be a better partner. It's not about needing someone. It's about wanting to share your happiness with them.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. It's so cool that they're still dancing together after all these years. I love that image of them tangoing 3 times a week. It's more than just like, romance. It's like this connection they have that just keeps growing.
And, she was still trying new things in her 60s. The article said she even learned Spanish. It makes you think maybe we don't have to slow down when we get older.
It's like she keeps leveling up, not just with new skills, but with confidence and freedom. She's not afraid to go for what she wants.
Right. And she even talks about that, how getting older made her care less about what other people thought. She was more sure of herself, so she could make choices that felt right.
That's so awesome. Okay, so let's get real for a second. If a friend came to you and said, I think I'm falling for a tango dancer in Buenos Aires, what advice would you give them based on Nancy's story?
Oh, that's a good one. I don't think it's about moving to Argentina. It's about realizing that sometimes the best things in life are the things you don't expect.
Hmm.
And it's never too late to try something new, something that
Yeah.
makes you happy, even if it seems a little scary.
Yeah, like you got to dance to your own beat.
Exactly. And remember that being happy is a choice. You have to keep choosing it.
I love that. So as we wrap up our deep dive into Nancy's amazing story, we want to leave you with this. What's that one thing you've always wanted to do, but you haven't? What's stopping you? Maybe Nancy's story can inspire you to take that first step, to try something new. And who knows, maybe you'll even find yourself tangoing into a whole new chapter of your life.